Israel take control of all of Gaza?
We intend to, in order to assure our security, remove Hamas there, enable the population to be free of Gaza, and to pass it to civilian governance. That is not Hamas and not anyone advocating the destruction of Israel. That's what we want to do. We want to liberate ourselves and liberate the people of Gaza from the awful terror of Hamas. And you were in the Gaza Strip today. You met Palestinians who are fighting Hamas because finally they see that they have a future. They can rid themselves of this awful tyranny that not only holds our hostages, but holds 2 million Palestinians in Gaza hostage. That's got to end.
Are you saying today that you will take control of the entire 26-mile Gaza Strip, as it was 20 years ago to this month in 2005?
Well, we don't want to keep it. We want to have a security perimeter. We don't want to govern it. We don't want to be there as a governing body. We want to hand it over to Arab forces that will govern it properly without threatening us and giving Gazans a good life.
Shalom, shalom, Israel, coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying. First off, giving all praise, all honor, all glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachach, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops, the great millstone, and all the teachers out there pushing this word in truth, with truth and sincerity. May you be of the elect. Shalom to all the Akim and Aquat out there listening and learning. You Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanic, Native, and Seminole Indians, who are the true children of Israel, as well as you speckled bird, Israelite foreigners, the Israelites that look like, act like, and take on the customs of all these heathen nations. So to you, I say shalom, and may you be of the elect. This lesson is brought to you by the Spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the true name of our Father, the God of the Bible, the God of the Israelites, Bah Hashem meaning in the name, and Yahweh Shai being the only begotten Son of Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls by the name of JC. All right, and you saw from the clip, all right, Netanyahu, all right, which his name, right, Netanyahu, like basically meaning given by God, which no, because he's not even a Jewish, all right, and his real name is BB Malkowski, Salakia. But anyway, besides the point, you saw in the clip, he said, yeah, we don't want to, take Gaza, we don't want to keep Gaza, but that's bullshit. The whole point, when this whole thing started out, they claimed it was about Hamas, right? Hamas meaning violence, and we see who's doing the most violence. It ain't Hamas, okay? It was all about, the IDF going against Hamas, all right? And how quickly Hamas damn near been, rooted out, I guess you could say. And, Netanyahu has been constantly just carpet bombing the fuck out of him, man. That place Gaza is damn near all ruins, man. But he gonna sit there and say, "Oh yeah, we don't want to keep Gaza, but you're gonna have it occupied by military personnel. Why would you have it held by military personnel?" Okay, for one, okay, it would be to make sure if there is any Hamas still present, right, they can take care of them and eliminate the threat, so to say, right, and have the posts clear. Another reason is to have military personnel there. That way, if any civilians try to go back there, to move back in, because it'd be all cleared out from Hamas, that they can go back to their homes, whatever homes is available, right, and stay occupied there. But if you got military personnel sitting there, they're not going to let anybody in unless they have clearance to come in. And 9 times out of 10, hell, 10 times out of 11, they're not going to have no clearance to go back in there unless you military personnel. And even then, you might have to have some special clearance to be there. So for him to say, "Oh, we don't want to keep Gaza," bullshit. All right. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read you a precept before I get into this Slakia. And the name of this lesson is Netanyahu, we don't want to keep Gaza. Those are his words, all right? And it's questionable because we know better, you know. But to give you a prime example of such a thing, this is First Maccabees chapter 11. I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, "And the king of Egypt gathered together a great host, like the sand that lieth upon the seashore," right? Basically a mass army, right? You're looking at 1,000 plus, you know, probably several thousand plus. And so like it. And the king of Egypt gathered together a great host, like the sand that lieth upon the seashore, and many ships, and went about through deceit to get Alexander's kingdom and join it to his own. All right, so he wanted to, and that's pretty much what the Romans did as well. The Romans, you know, started out with whatever military personnel that they had, and when they would go besiege a town, you know, it was either you can either join us or you can die right here on the spot. What do you think most people did? All right, you had a few martyrs, you know, try to stand up for what's right, but you had a lot of them that, you know, they wanted to keep their lives, so they would join the ranks of the Romans, and that's how their army grew. Same thing with this, right? He was trying to join unto his ranks, okay, and went about through deceit to get Alexander's kingdom and join it to his own. Verse 2, "Whereupon he took his journey into Spain in peaceable manner, so as they of the cities opened unto him, and met him. For King Alexander had commanded them so to do, because he was his brother-in-law. Now," and this is the point, "now as Ptolemy entered into the cities, he set in every one of them a garrison of soldiers to keep it." And that's the point, right? When you go into it, it's like checkmate, you know, or when they was doing land grabs back in you know, the old days, the 1800s and so forth, right? They would go plot out lands, stake it, claim it as their own, all right? Basically setting up their garrison in a way, claiming that land, okay? And that's the exact same thing that they've done in ancient times and what they do today, okay? You can look at it as modern day colonialism, all right? Democracy is modern day colonialism, all right? They need some help. Yeah, but we didn't ask for your help. Yeah, but you need my help, so I'm gonna help you. Your enemy is now my enemy. I'm gonna destroy them, and then when we conquer them, we beat them. We want something from you. Yeah, but we didn't ask for your help. Yeah, but we see that you need the help, even though you're too proud to ask for it. You need the help. We're gonna help you, and so because of that, you're gonna give us something that we want. And 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be the land because of the resources. And that's what these Edomites have done from the very beginning, man. They go about conquering areas and they set their stakes, right? Set their garrisons in the lands, right? You think these people over there in Israel right now is the true people? These you-wishes? Bullshit. They went there and occupied that land illegally back in the 30s and the 40s. All right, the whole Israel state, right? Israeli state was founded by Theodore Herzl. Go look it up. All right, he's the one of the founders of the Israeli state. Right, and not too long ago, they were saying that, you know, the Israel state, right, is not even official. They put that in there because they didn't know internet was going to, you know, come about back in those days. All right, they thought they could just have it on paper, even though it was unofficial. They made it official, all right, and called it Israeli state. Occupied the land illegally. Okay. Then you got this guy, not a Jew, with the IDF blowing the fuck out of Gaza, but he says, "Oh, we don't want to keep it." So what the fuck you got your military personnel sitting there for then? Why don't you got rid of Hamas, so now just let the people go back to their land and rebuild how they gonna rebuild if they can. What do you got your garrison sitting there for? Because you want the land. See? The regular people in the world, man, you know, they don't see things like that. Or maybe even they do. but they're too scared to speak up on that. The prophets, the men of the Lord, are not scared to speak up about anything. We let it be known. That's our job. You know, let our people know that, you know, there's good music, all right, there's good song, there's good gospel, all right, the good news, and we also know, let the nations and the 2/3 know their judgment, because that's our job. It ain't about what we think, what we feel, so on and so forth. It's what the Lord wants. It's what He says. You see? But anyway, let's get back into this. All right, this lesson. Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 8, it says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And that's pretty much what's happening with Gaza. Now, granted, the people of Gaza, the Palestinians, and the people of Israel today, right, the majority of them, the Israelis, neither of them are the people of the land. The Israelites, the Negroes, the Hispanics, the Native and Seminole Indians are the true people of that land. So for them to be sitting there trying to land grab and fight over a landmass, well, nigga, it don't belong to neither one of y'all. They know it. Okay? They know that. Net not a Jew, he definitely know it. Okay? But you can't tell them shit. All right? Because they still have the mindset. The Lord still have them blinded to feel, right? Because he blinded he gave them a strong delusion that they should believe a lie. All right? And so therefore they think that they are the people of the Lord. They think that the land is theirs. And the Palestinians, likewise, think that the land is theirs. So they're fighting for it. Lo and behold, when Yahweh Bashim Yahushai give that green light, Israel is going to be utterly destroyed just like America. None of you motherfuckers get the land. You know who's going to get the land? The Israelites. Because that's our land. It always has been. This is Ecclesiasticus, right? Still in the same book, also known as Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10 through 12. It says, never, 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 never trust thine enemy. All right? So you know Netanyahu is sitting there on Gaza land talking about, oh, we don't want to keep the land. We just going to, but I'm going to set up my garrison. I'm going to set up IDF military personnel in there. For what? You see? That's why it says never trust thine enemy. If you are a so-called Negro, Hispanic, Native, or Seminole Indian, okay, you are all neighbors. When it says love thy neighbor, we are the neighbors to one another. Anybody outside of Israel, right, anybody who's not an Israelite is enemy, okay? They are not our friends. Every one of these nations have had us under their boot. Every one of them had us in captivity. We are not friends. Despite what these devils try to, oh, let's all just get along. Yeah, you want us all to get along so we can keep working for you. Well, so you can still have your boot on our neck. So we can, you know, still be them slaves, as it were. All right, but we're not those people, man. All right. When the Lord come back, everything's going to be set straight. Everybody's going to know who the Israelites are. Everybody's going to be held in subjection. All right? All these people are going to be subjects to us. If you are so-called Negro, Hispanic, Native, and Seminole Indians, look forward to having slaves, indentured servants, because that's what all these other nations are going to be. That's what they were to us at one point. All right? Till we disrespected Yahweh Bashim Yahushai by transgression of the law. All right, and he brought us from very high to very low. So we had to see what it's like to be the servitude. We had to go on punishment for what we did. Righteous judgment. Right? But when he comes back, everything's going to be set right back the way it was. And these are going to be our slaves. We're going to be decked out in jewels and gold and silver and fine stones, fine polished stones, man. Scepters and crowns and kingdoms and wives, wives. Okay, ain't gonna be no fucking one wife. How you gonna be fruitful and multiply with only one wife? She can only get pregnant once a year. All right, we're gonna have multiple wives. Okay, and servants. Bring me my slippers. Bring me my food. Get out of my bedroom. Wash my nuts. You know what I'm saying? That's what we gonna have. I know these heathens that listen to these electronic epistles getting pissed off. I don't give a fuck, man. All right, you had us doing it all this time. Now it's gonna be our turn, man. All right, Ecclesiastes 12:10. One more time. Never trust thine enemy. Don't trust not a Jew. Oh, we don't want to keep Gaza. Bullshit. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. All right, you can wipe it away for a little bit. Oh yeah, everything's good. We're cool. We're peaceful. We're peaceable. Bullshit. And right up underneath that shiny bullshit crocodile smile, okay, he's got daggers waiting for you. As soon as you turn your back, and we're gonna get to that. It says, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself, okay, and go crouching, right? Oh, I'm just here, just chilling. I'm here in a peaceable manner. Yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Right? Everything seemed cool. Everything seemed all right. Just like with these Edomites with us. Yeah, slavery over. Okay, they're not beating the fuck out of us, and they're not killing us like they was. It's getting a little bit better. Decades later, oh, these are our friends. Daryl is my friend. Okay, Cassandra is my friend. All the while, they have a perpetual hatred for you since the beginning of time. They cool with you because of what you can do for them. Or because like the scriptures say, they're only a friend. A friend is only a friend for an occasion. You got something that he wants, or you got a crowd of people that he wants to connect with. So he's gonna be friends with you, just so he can get closer to that crowd that you with. And once he get in with that crowd, he's gonna denounce you. He's gonna act like he don't even fucking know you. But he didn't get into that crowd until you allowed him in your inner circle to know your crowd. That's how these Edomites are. Let's all be as one. That King Antiochus spirit, man. That first Maccabees 1:41. Matter of fact, let me get it real quick. Because that's how these devils operate. They've always done it like that. Subtle snakes, man. See, first Maccabees 1:41 says, moreover, King Antiochus, or King Antiochus, however you want to pronounce it, wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and every one should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanliness and profanation, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And that's what we have today. Ask these wacky tacky Christians when the Sabbath day. They're going to tell you it's Sunday. Every Sunday. Then you got the Jewishes. They're going to tell you the Sabbath is every Friday night to Saturday night. When the true men of the Lord, the true people of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to tell you it's from one new moon to the next, from one Sabbath to the next. So if a new moon came on a Tuesday, that means from Tuesday evening to Wednesday evening until the next new moon, that's the Sabbath. And the next new moon might be on a Wednesday. So guess what? You got a double Sabbath at that point. You have Tuesday evening to Wednesday evening. And then that Wednesday evening to Thursday evening. And then the following week, it'll be Wednesday evening to Thursday evening until the next new moon. That is the correct way. But that's how these heathens roll. They say we all one people. Why they say we all one people? Because they know if we keep going off, they can keep up over us. All right? But those that have been shaken awake, right? We don't have the mental shackles on no more. We free. The truth will set you free. Right? We free from that shit, man. But now you have a modern day slavery, which is called employment. Go look up the word employment. It means slavery. All right? Just like today's modern day colonialism is called democracy. But anyway, let's finish reading this. Ecclesiastes 12, and I'm going to restart at verse 11. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed, and beware of him as thou shalt be unto him as thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest, when he has overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place, not a Jew. We don't want to keep Gaza. We're just going to set up my garrisons there. Yeah. So he can do what? Overthrow thee, he standeth up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. And that's exactly what he's doing. We don't want Gaza. Fuck you. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That's why you decimated the whole area. You're gonna make it basically decimate the people. Because it started, you claimed it was all about Hamas, but yet, what do all those civilians got to do with Hamas? What you doing destroying them? Why are you destroying hospitals? Why are you destroying civilians' homes? Oh, because Hamas is in all of those? Right. Right. Okay. So he's saying he don't want Gaza, but yet he's setting up his garrisons. He's setting up the IDF military personnel checkpoints. Why? Yeah, we're not ignorant of your devices, man. We know how you operate. All right? So keep an eye out. I know I will, Lord will. How he going to be operating through Gaza. Because he claimed that, just like once upon a time, 24 years ago, on September 11th, right? Claimed that certain people had weapons of mass destruction. Whole time there was no weapons of mass destruction. But what did they take from over there? Why do they have garrisons? Why do they have their military personnel guarding poppy fields? Oh, because it's poppy fields. What is poppy fields known for? Heroin, that H, that brown dust, right? As big business, big money, right? As well as using it for medicinal purpose for big pharma. But anyway, okay, that was the so-called weapons of mass destruction because they didn't have none that they claimed that they said. It was all a ploy, right, to go in there and set up so-called democracy. Same thing they did with Saudi Arabia, right? Afghanistan, right? Look what they did with Gaddafi. They need democracy. I mean, that's what they did. Ain't nothing new under the sun, man. This is their tactics. It's always been their tactics, just like the Romans. But anyway, Lord willing, this is edifying. Giving all praise, all honor, all glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachah, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops, the great millstone, and all the teachers out there pushing this word in truth, with truth and sincerity. May you be of the elect. Y'all better say prayed up, repent, ababa ball, kwam yasharallah, shalom.